Nigerian Nostalgia Project is about how we think as a people, as a Nigerian people, as a collective, as a community, not how we have been conditioned to think based upon our ethnicities. It's a way of reconnecting people, Nigerian people, to what is the Nigerian existence, the Nigerian experience, and that collective Nigerian identity. You know, it's interesting that photographs do wonderful things, and people say that, often people say that, a photograph speaks 1,000 words. But, when we put a photograph in front of many people, everybody seems to have, a little bit of information about that photograph, which means something to them. And when they are able to comment, they're able to share what they know about each photograph. The history, our history, which for the most part is undocumented, is now composed, and everybody gets to be a part of that process. I believe the collection and the sharing of photographs this way is so effective and so important for our process. Well, we don't actually choose anything. The photographs are contributed by various people in various parts of the world who have, those photographs in their possession, or they're taken by their parents, grandparents, fathers, mothers, cousins, aunties, what have you. People choose to share a photograph, which may be very personal to them, but when it is put in front of a group of people, each person then is able to find a piece of it that means something to them. And help me to find my feet around my way. It was a reaction to something that happened, I think, a couple of years ago, when I was invited to attend a Nigeria at 50 event in Washington, D.C. And, I think there were a number of events which were taking place that week, and a friend of mine had invited me to this event, and I refused, and I said I wasn't going. I think we got into some kind of an exchange, and he, seemed to think that I was unpatriotic for not wanting to attend. And I didn't say anything at the time, but I left, went home, and I think it niggled me all the way driving back home. I was asking myself questions: was I really unpatriotic? What does that really mean? And I analyzed my own thoughts, and I came to the decision that I'm not really unpatriotic. If I were celebrating Nigeria at 50, what would I be doing? What would be the right thing what's the thing that Nigeria needs to be celebrating? I didn't think that we had achieved as much as we ought to have in the 50 years that we've had. So there was nothing for me to celebrate. But if we're going to celebrate anything, what should have we been celebrating? So I thought, are the values, the standards, the legacy that we've inherited, the expectation that people had of Nigeria in 1960, when we first gained our independence. There was so much hope, there was so much the expectation from not just within Nigeria, but from the rest of the world. People were expecting something great to come out of Africa. It seemed that all of that had been squandered away. So I got home, and I think I had some old pictures, of my father, mother, parents, and I just got on Facebook, and I started the group when I got home, and I think I was yelling to my wife in the kitchen and saying, "What should I call this group?" And I said, "It's the Nigerian Nostalgia Project," and that was it. And we just started it, and and then I invited some of my friends, and then one person shared a photograph, another person shared another photograph, and since then we've just grown into what we are today in terms of we have more than 6,000 photographs online, and more than almost 18,000 people who are sharing photographs right now. How do we conduct the process of self-examination within Nigeria? And there is no place for Nigerians to go at the moment because it doesn't exist. Information is not freely available. There is no central repository that I know of, that exists for Nigerians to interact with each other, interact with the government. Which is why I think the work that NMP does is valuable, because what we've started by presenting all these positive images of old Nigeria, Nigerians, etc. online is really the fact that I think we've started a conversation between Nigerian middle class, an educated Nigerian middle class that is, scattered all over the place, in foreign countries, here in Nigeria, in all, parts of the world. Nigeria needs its educated classes because those are the people who can have a conversation. Those are the people who have been taught, gone to school, taught how to develop their powers of analysis and to come up with solutions, come up with, thought that will be universally accepted and pushed through the society. People with ideology, people with ideas, to get together and to begin to talk to each other. Because that's what you're asking me. You're asking me that, where do Nigerians not do a self-examination? Only these people are equipped to do this kind of self-examination. To be quite honest, I don't know what the solution is. I think that we just have to mature as a people. We have to begin to, like I said, we have to begin to have a conversation. And from talking to each other, we will get, the conversation will change. When the conversation changes and people in critical numbers are beginning to have a better quality conversation where they're looking for results, it has to happen from within each person. When people begin to get together on that basis and they begin to talk to each other, I think that's the beginning of the change.